Boom, just like that. I'm back, guys. I'm live once again. Man, dude, just the technology world, man. I take a little break from it and come back into it. I get behind so quick. Guys, I'm Tom Owens. I thank anybody who tunes in and watches this show. I'm from MMA Fight Pass. Normally, guys, I do podcast interviews with my partner, Archie Tovar. Today, it's just me and myself. And today, I got a great guest. He's coming up. He's going to be fighting at we got the local 559 fights. 559 fights 99, guys, is coming up right here in Visalia at the Valley Strong Ballpark. This is a big show that's coming up. Before we start the show, I want to thank Jeremy Luchow and just congratulate him for making it this far with the show, with what he's doing and how far he's came. And, man, this show is going to be great, guys. It's show 99. Man, we got all kinds of good fighters coming up. We got a great main event coming up. And I got my guest today, guys. I got a special guest. I got Jared Sutherland, and he's fighting in the main event. Jared, welcome to the show. How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing pretty well. Thank you.
Man, thanks for taking taking time out of your day, bro. I know you're. This is probably one of the busiest times of your training camp. The fight's right around the corner, guys. The fight, Jared. Am I correct? It's on June 24th. What is that? A Saturday?
Yeah, Saturday, June 24th.
June 24th. So, man, that's right around the corner. Now you're fighting in the main event. I don't want to pronounce your opponent's name wrong. What is his name? His full name?
Oh, I can't pronounce his name properly either, so I'm right there with you.
Don't worry about it then. I believe
I know his first name is
is
Roman.
It's Roman. His name is Roman.
Yeah.
He's on the card. I'll probably be talking to Roman within the next couple days if everything goes well. I'll be talking to quite a few of the fighters before this show. So, man, dude, how's life over there, man? Where exactly are you at right now?
I'm in my home gym right now in Napomo, California, and life's pretty good. I mean, it's a cool 68 degrees right now. I've got the windows open and there's a nice breeze, and yeah, I'm in between my afternoon and evening training, so I'm just kind of relaxing right now.
Man, that's cool, man. You're working, are you a personal trainer? I see you got that gym right there. You said you work out of that gym?
Yeah, I'm a personal trainer, nutrition specialist, and that's just one of my jobs. My other job is I drive school buses.
You drive school buses. That's what my mom did, man, for a living.
Yeah, it's a good gig.
Hey, my mom and my dad both are school bus drivers. Right on, respect. That's cool. Hey, so Napomo, is that how far is that away from San Luis Obispo? You guys are right there by the beach, right?
Oh yeah, I believe Guadalupe Beach and Oceano Beach are like 5 miles away, and I'm depending on the traffic, I'm 25 to 40 minutes away from San Luis, so really close.
Nice, man. And now, will you do the training right there? I've never been over there to that gym. The pit, is that in San Luis?
There's the Pit Arroyo Grande, and that is where I do a lot of my striking. And then there's Pit Fit in San Luis Obispo, and that's where we do a lot of our MMA wrestling.
Nice, very nice. So what? And you train jiu-jitsu, wrestling. I imagine all of that stuff over there.
Yeah, it's a plethora of techniques and styles, and it's always learning something new.
Man, I could imagine you probably got all kinds of different faces and old legendary dudes that go through there.
Oh, absolutely. We see tons of people. I mean, Glover Teixeira, he was in town a couple of months ago, got to wrestle with him for a little bit. And then I don't know if you know Sammy Henson. He's a former Olympian. He has bull trained. I think it's in Minnesota or something, but his son trains with us and he comes around every so often too. So we've got lots of people coming through that are pretty big names, and they're always sharing their advice and helping us with technique. And so it's a huge blessing and a huge honor that John Hackelman, the owner of the Pit and the AG, that he has these connections for us. And it's just like, oh man, what an honor.
Man, that is an honor, bro. That's really something else, dude. I got a lot of respect for stuff like that. Man,
Hmm.
Hackelman, I can only imagine the guy is just a computer full of knowledge. I got a
Oh yeah.
chance to talk with him a little bit. Seemed like a really cool guy. Man, I bet he's probably just something else to train with. I saw somebody else in your corner at one of your fights. I think his name is Antonio Banuelos. Is that his name?
Oh, I love Antonio. That is his name. Yeah.
That guy was fighting when I was fighting back in the day. He was one of the dudes that was fighting at the same time. Man, he's been around the block. I imagine that guy, and I see him in a lot of corners too. Is that one of his things that he likes to do? Is be a corner man?
Oh, he loves training. He loves coaching. He's out of all the as a coach myself, I've had many coaches in my life, and he's probably like uh, John Hackelman, Antonio Banuelos, the top two coaches in my life, for sure.
That's so cool, man. That is really, really cool, bro. Are those guys when you come down to this fight? How I'll fly. I go from subject to subject. You're coming from over there to over here. Are you staying here in Visalia or what?
I'll be staying the night of the fight. The wifey and I, we drive up in the morning to weigh-ins, and then normally just go to the hotel and relax a little bit, and then
Yeah.
fight, and then win or lose, I'm always just sort of wired, and so I don't really sleep that night. So the wifey, she goes to bed, and I just kind of chill, and then whenever she gets up, we just come back home because it's only like a 2.5 hour drive, so
Yeah.
it's not too taxing. So
Man, isn't that feeling something else, dude, that night before the fight?
oh man, yeah.
Oh my gosh, dude, it's an indescribable feeling right there.
Hmm.
It's an indescribable feel. It's a different type of energy that you get right there.
Yeah, for sure. Just
Oh man, that's
playing
what the
through
sound.
different scenarios in your head and everything.
Oh
I constantly feel my body tensing up and I'm like twitching. I'm like, well, relax,
yeah.
chill, let's just calm down. And then my brain starts going again. And I'm like, yeah.
And next thing you know, it's time to go. Man, that's crazy,
Yep.
man. Hey,
Hmm.
you're the main event now with Roman. Were you? But were that got you got changed to the main event, right? Were you already on that card before this, or what?
I was on the card. Like I found out that the title fight was offered to me, I want to say like a month and a half ago or something. And we one of our fighters, he ended up going in the hospital, so Hackelman didn't have a chance to approve it yet. So we kind of waited a little while, and then as soon as he approved it, we accepted the fight. And then yeah, it's just I found out I was co-main event like right then and there, and I was like, oh, well, that's cool. And I didn't think that that would happen like this quick too, you know?
And just like that, boom.
Hmm.
Your opponent, do you know much about him? Do you really pay much attention to the other opponents in your weight class?
I do sometimes, like I don't study them super hard, and Antonio and John like for me to not really watch the footage of my opponents. They like to watch it, and then they just prepare me for it. So, like, I might see one fight that they've done before and watch it with them, and we'll talk about it. But more often than not, I'm going in blind, not really seeing how they move, just hearing different things that they do. And then my the guys that I spar with, like Eddie and Xander, they watch all the fights and then they start imitating how the opponent moves, and so I kind of get a little bit of a feel of how they're going to go because it's their style mixed in with what they've observed. So keeps me on my toes.
That's brilliant, man. The way that they do that, I like that. That makes a lot of sense. That's really smart too. And you don't. Yeah, that's great. I like that, man. That's awesome. Your guys' gym. I mean, the sport it's popular. I mean, it's probably one of the most popular sports in the world right now. I would say it's got to be. MMA is one of the most popular. Crazy that fighting is one of the most popular sports. It definitely is, though. and there's all kinds of young kids out there, boys and girls. I'm seeing girls, talent. I'm seeing a lot of talent out there from women too. But do you guys get a lot of younger people coming into your gym? Like they know a gym like yours is good fighters come out of it. Some of the best people in the world have came out of that gym. You get it? Do you guys get a lot of people out of the street coming in thinking that they can do it?
Since I've been there, we've seen probably like 3 or 4 people come in and they're like roaring and ready to go. And it's like, okay, we're going to test them a little. I mean, I know I came in and I was like, hey, I want to train because I used to train when I was younger. And then I stopped training because I was told, you can't make a respectable career as a martial artist, that's, that, the other. And then as an adult, I was like, wait, yes, I can. That's dumb. I'm gonna do it. And so then I started training at the pit, and I was like, hey, I want to join the fight team. And so I went through the test, and I I made it through the whole test. But we've seen a few people come in, and they've gone through the tests, and uh, they decided it was a little bit more than what they thought it would be because we are not an easy school. We're a rough, tough school, and we push each other really hard. And if you don't got it, then you're not going to make it.
You're not going to make it far. Now,
Yeah.
that's for sure. Now, you guys have that fight camp part of the school. Do they by chance for have just like the person that doesn't want to go into the fight that they want to go in just for self-defense train, or
Mhm.
is that just not the place for that type of deal?
Oh, no, no, no. That's completely separate. That's you're probably doing the belt program if you don't want to get in the ring and fight. And there's a lot of people in the belt program that are really talented and it's like, man, you sure you don't want to step into that octagon? You would probably like tear it up and they're like, no, 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 it's not for me. And I'm like, okay. I mean, I get it. It can be a bit intimidating and definitely scary getting into a ring, going fighting somebody. I mean, it's sanctioned and there's refs and rules and whatnot, but still could be could be frightening to a lot of people.
You might get in there and fall in love with it.
Yeah.
Oh, come on, just give it a shot, bro. Just try it once, man.
just one time,
No,
just one time,
that's
just two
crazy,
times.
right? Hey, before you now, or tell me this: when you got into martial arts, bro, was it just MMA that you saw on TV that made you want to get into martial arts, or did you do like a traditional style of like karate, boxing, or any single style before you did MMA?
So basically what it was a very hyper child, still very hyper adult. And my mother didn't know what to do with me. And she put me in a bunch of different sports, found out that I am not really a team player. Like I am a team player, but not really a team player. I excel when I get to do my own thing. And so she put me in martial arts school that was called American Freestyle Karate. And it basically was MMA. We did jujitsu, we did some taekwondo stuff, we did some kickboxing stuff, we did a little bit of uh, what's the aikido stuff, and yeah, I mean there weren't any katas or anything like that, so it was a mixed martial arts gym, and I trained there for I think like age 6 to like 14 or something like that.
Hey, you did throw in some wrist locks though with that Aikido.
Yeah, yeah. I've
All
never I've
right,
never used I've never used it in a fight or in the street. So I mean, I'm not sure if
right, right, right.
the Aikido really stuck or not.
Hey, what about as far as competition goes though? Like before I ever did any kind of a cage fight, I did a whole bunch of just Brazilian jiu-jitsu competitions to try to get used to or to try to get used to competing in front of people. Did
Mhm.
you do anything before the MMA competition was?
Nah, I mean, performing in front of people in like high school and whatnot, I did choir and drama, so I wasn't unfamiliar to getting in front of a mass group of people that I don't know and put on a show for them. So, but as for competing, this through the 559 fights is my first time.
Dude, I would have thought you had wrestled. Man, I saw one of your fights I was watching. You had a couple beautiful takedowns, man. You had a couple
Yeah.
real. Yeah, I would have thought you would have maybe wrestled and scored something. But I imagine you guys got some badass wrestlers at that gym.
Oh
I
yes,
can I
my
can imagine.
goodness. I don't think I'm that good of a wrestler in comparison to the guys that I wrestle with. I'm always like, man, I suck.
That's what you need right there, though. That's what
Hmm.
you need, man. If you're working with the better guys, that's it, man. Right there, that's tight, bro. That's so sick.
Yeah.
Is there in martial arts? Is there like a inspiration, like a certain person that's like one of your biggest inspirations? Maybe somebody that you saw or somebody that you look up to now that inspires you to keep training hard like you're doing?
No, actually, there never was. It was just well, I'm maybe like Goku from Dragon
All
Ball
right.
Z.
All
But
right.
I
All
mean,
right.
no actual living, breathing human, just, me being a big old video game and anime nerd over here, just from those it has inspired me, but I haven't really looked up to any human in particular. So, yeah.
You know what trips me out, man, is some of the best fighters that I meet and people like you that like to fight like you told me a minute ago that you did drama and core.
Hmm.
Right. That's what I'm saying. And you know what I mean? Different type of person and people that get into fighting and that fall in love with fighting and are good at it. That's great,
Yeah.
man. So I know your goal, of course, is to win your fights, but what is your ultimate goal in this mixed martial art? You said you were married. Do you have children?
I am a stepfather of a soon to be 15-year-old girl. That is a handful.
Hey, that's a handful, but props to you for doing it, man. Props to you for
Yeah,
stepping up and doing it, brother.
thanks. Thanks.
Yeah. What does your family think about you? Like do your mom and your dad or anybody like that, did they travel down here and come to these fights?
My mom and my dad came for the first time to my last fight, and my mom, she really enjoyed it. And my dad, he said that it was very difficult to watch. And I was like, oh, you used to be a prison guard. I didn't realize you were such a pansy. But the wifey, she says she loves it. She's like, man, I don't know why. I just get so much anxiety and excitement and go through a whirlwind of emotions. And I'm like, you do. I'm the one in there. She's like, I
Oh
know, I
man,
know. But she
what
thinks it's
number?
awesome
How many
doing it.
fights do you have with this one coming up? What will it be?
This is going to be number 5.
Fight number 5. Man, dang,
Hmm.
that's crazy, brother. That is really
Yeah.
something else. So when you get like, how many are you looking for a certain number of fights before you go to the next level? What does it take for a guy to go from where you're at to go into the professional level?
Oh, I'm just
Is it
waiting
up
for
to?
John and Antonio to say, yeah, let's go. Because when I started fighting, my main goal was to be a better coach because I want to have my own pit location somewhere in the world and I want to teach. And I'm the type of person where I'm not going to have somebody else do something unless I've tried it. And if I'm going to run a martial arts gym that's going to have fighters, I want to have the experience of going through the process and fighting. So I'm just going to seeing where it takes me, learning every step of the way. And yeah, that's my goal is just to learn. And if they say, "Hey, let's go pro," then we're going to go pro, and keep on keeping on.
Man, that's great though that you got a backup plan. You have an ultimate goal is to become a coach. You're going to open up a gym.
Mhm.
That's freaking awesome, dude. That's awesome, and you're going to have the experience for the people. That's really really something else. Where do you think you'll open that gym up in the future?
Oh, I don't know. We've
There's
been
no
my
telling.
wifey and I we've been thinking somewhere in the States, Colorado, Washington, outside the States, like Okinawa, Japan, or somewhere in Scotland. So we haven't really settled on that yet. We've still got quite a few years until we're ready to take that next step, you know?
You got all the time in the world to think about it, my friend. That's great, dude. Hey, so I got a couple questions that I like to ask different fighters. Um, One of them is this right here. If you had you could take a second to think about the answer. If you had a dream fight of anybody, it could be a past guy in history or anybody out there right now that you would like to fight in the cage. Anybody in the world, a dream fight, who would it be?
A dream fight from anybody. Ooh, that's a tough one. Man, I have no idea. I would really have to think about that one for a while. Because there's
That's
so many, like, it's like, man, this would be fun. I'd probably get my ass handed to me in this scenario. Um, who knows, you know? I I don't have an
what
answer,
about this?
unfortunately.
What weight class are you in?
I'm fighting in welterweight right now.
So that's 170, right?
Yeah.
Is it tough for you to cut weight and get to that weight class, or are you just walk around close to that?
I usually walk around 190, and then when I know I have a fight, I start dieting down closer to that, and then I sort of level out about a week or so. Like I'm pretty close to that weight right now, so I'm on
Ready
track
to
with
go.
my eating. Mhm.
And you guys on your weigh-in, is it just the night before? How does it work for you guys? Is it the night before or
It's
the
the
day of?
morning of, the morning of.
The morning
And
of?
so, yeah, and so I know how dangerous it is on your body to cut like a mass amount of water weight, which is one of the reasons why I don't want to cut water weight. I want to diet down to it because I'd rather be hungry for a bit and then go in with my energy levels and hydration levels optimal rather than cut a bunch of water and then not be able to hydrate and have my energy levels back when it comes to fight.
That's great. Now you work in the nutrition field. Um, Speaking of like energy, because nowadays, you know what I mean, the food is so crappy out there. You know, it's
Oh,
just the
yeah.
food is so crappy. And for MMA training, you definitely got to have your energy levels up, and definitely around fight week and cutting weight and all that. But just on a regular, you know, every when you're not fighting or you're getting ready for a fight or whatever, how do you eat? Are you more what type of a diet do you go for that you or would you recommend a person for to higher your energy levels?
Well, it all depends on what you're gonna eat and what you're gonna do that day. On any like right now, my breakfast is some mushrooms, some chicken, some onions, garlic, carrot, cabbage, arugula, kale, spinach, all cooked together, and that's my breakfast. And then my lunch is usually probably like a pea protein shake with some chia seeds and then some like different tinctures and some multivitamin stuff like elderberry, cat's claw, ashwagandha, and then I will probably just snack on like nuts and other seeds for the rest of the day. Maybe have a little turkey, have a little chicken, and maybe some peanut butter if I'm feeling really fancy. But that's usually what I eat when I'm starting to cut weight. But fish is also very good, or oysters, because they're very nutritionally dense as well. Got good fat, good protein. So
Oysters. What do you do with the oysters, or how do you prepare them?
I like to. There's this little box that you get at Aldi. I don't know if you know that store, and they're just these smoked oysters, and
Uh huh.
oh, they're so delicious.
What is that
It's so
store?
good.
What is it called?
It's called Aldi, ALDI. It's a cool little store. They got a bunch of random stuff there, but the smoked oysters are pretty consistent. And oh yeah, I eat them.
And they come in a can.
Yep,
And then
come
what
in
do
a
you do with
can.
them? You just pop them
I
open and eat them?
I just pop them open, drain the oil, and eat them.
All right, all right.
My
And
breath
so,
is
what are they
terrible
high in?
afterwards.
They're high. Are they high in iron?
They've got some iron, they've got a lot of fat and a lot of protein. They're actually really balanced nutritionally in that way.
Oh wow! So what is the name of that again? The can of it?
Oh, I can't remember the name. You want me to go
It's a
grab one?
smoked oyster, though. That's basically what it is, though.
Yeah, it's smoked
I've seen that
oysters.
type of thing at the store we got right here. Is why I ask. They have something. They have oysters. I don't know if it's the same name brand. I'll try it though. I'll try it. So you eat a lot of micro dense greens. It sounds like.
I do. I do. I would say that 70% of my diet is vegetables, 20% is seeds and nuts, and 10% is meats.
And beets or meats.
Meats.
Okay. All
Yeah,
right. All
and
right.
I haven't had any red meat or anything in over like 15 years. So it's mostly
Wow.
turkey, chicken, and fish.
Wow. Okay. All right.
Hmm.
And then when you're going for fish, if you're buying fillets of fish, what do you prefer to get, or do you have a preference?
I really, really like salmon. Salmon is very, very tasty, and I like to season it with like some cayenne pepper, dill, and garlic powder and onion powder, and then maybe put a little ghee on top to finish it. It's so good.
Dude, I got a salmon fillet in the refrigerator right now, my man.
Oh, that sounds
I'm
great.
trying to, dude. I ask you these questions, man, because I suffer from freaking epilepsy, man, and I've been trying since I've had some head trauma. I came down with epilepsy,
Oh man.
and so I don't have it as bad as a lot of people. Thank God, you know what I mean. But I do have
Hmm.
the seizures from time to time, maybe once a month. But since I've had it, I just try any natural thing I can try, and I'm always constantly trying different diets. And I've had like the best success, it seems like, with kind of sticking with kind of the foods you're talking about, just a lot of greens,
Hmm.
microgreens. But I still, man, I make mistakes and go for the bad stuff too. I gotta cut it out. I'm
Yeah,
always
that's
trying things
post
though.
fight. That's post
Yeah,
fight.
I'm
The
always
bad
trying
stuff is
different
after.
things.
Yeah, I would say that the less processed the food you're consuming, the better off you're going to be, for sure, for everybody.
For everybody.
Hmm.
Man, it's dude, the freaking American processed diet is really something else, man.
Yeah, yeah, we call it the standard American diet or SAD.
Yeah, dude, straight up, dude. Hey, you have any sponsors or people out there that you want to give a shout out to, or you want to thank some people that you want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, I want to thank John Hackelman, of course, Antonio Banuelos, of course, uh, Frazier. I don't know his first name, but he also trains me out of Pit Fit. Uh, Sammy Hinson from Bull Trained, Glover Teixeira, of course, and my sparring partners, Eddie Camacho, Xander, and then Sammy's son, Jackson Hinson, as well. They've all been a huge help and training me, coaching me, giving me advice over the years. And then, of course, the wifey. I love her to death.
Heck
She
yeah,
believes
dude.
in me way more than I do, that's for sure.
Man, I give so much props to a wife like that, bro. That's
Yeah.
that is very, very cool. What is her name?
Her name is Kelly.
Kelly, you're awesome.
Yeah.
Hopefully I'll be at those fights, man. So you know what I mean. If everything, if it's meant to be, I'll meet you in person right there at the fight.
Dude, sounds great.
I know. Hey, man, I really appreciate you taking the time out of your day, dude. I really do, man.
Yeah, it's an honor. Thank you for having me.
Oh yeah, it's an honor for sure. It's an honor for me to be able to do these podcasts. It's been a while since I've done them, guys. It's been a minute because besides work, I work at Costco. Besides school, besides work, I've been going to school. I've been doing some college on the side, and I kind of just set the podcast world off for a little while. But I just finished up the semester, and I got the summer off, guys. So, yeah, if things go right, if it's meant to be, I'll be. I got a bunch of really good hosts lined up for the near future. My next guest I got coming on, guys, is Michael J. Fit. He's an inspirational coach, and he's living over in the Philippines right now. He's a guy that I trained with out of Farmersville from Team KO, and I've had him before. He's a really, really cool guy. He's also a martial artist. Always has something really positive to say for fighters and just the average person that's out there in life. most of the people out there aren't fighters. We love to watch fighting. It's one of our favorite things to watch, but we're not actually fighters getting in that cage and doing what these guys are doing. It's really something else, man. I got so much respect for anybody. I don't care what the result is, man, that steps into a ring and you're basically your underwear in front of your family, your friends, and thousands of people that you don't know with cameras on you, and it could be in front of pay-per-view. Hey, I got so much props, man. It takes a lot of guts, man. It takes the biggest balls ever to do something like that. So win, lose, or draw, in my mind, anybody that gets in there, you're a winner, man. You're doing something that most people will never, ever do in their life. And some people out there talk smack is why I say this kind of stuff. And I hear people say different, the weirdest, dumbest, immature things. But hey, anybody that gets in that ring and you're not the one getting in there, you just keep your mouth shut and don't say anything. That's how I feel about it. You know what I mean? Not to be a dick or anything like that. Anyway, I love everybody out there. My brother, I thank you. Hopefully I'll be able to interview your opponent here in the next couple of days, before the fight. And if everything works out, I'll see you at the fight. I thank everybody out there who had a chance to watch this. If you can like this video and please share it to any outlet you can. You can help me grow MMA Fight Pass and the Tom Owens Show. You can help me grow it. Like I said, we're still new at the podcast world, and I can grow and we can grow with the help of anybody out there. So I love all you guys out there. I love you, bro. I hope everything goes great for you. You guys have a safe trip, and I will talk to you soon.
Cool. Have a good one.
Thank you. You as well.
Thanks.